Hi there, welcome to this podcast. Today I'm going to talk about thinking out of the box. It's basically we come into this world, we are taught to think a certain way. Our parents and the society conditions us to do things in a certain way, to behave in a certain way, to act and just basically do things in a certain way. That is, we have been conditioned and programmed to think in a certain way. So I'm going to look at ways in which we could think out of that box, to look at things a little bit differently. So I will start by saying there's no truth until you decide what the truth is. Your truth may not be my truth, and my truth may not be your truth. That should not inhibit our search for the truth, nor should it stop or diminish what the truth is. Don't come to me for the truth, but surely come to me for facts and research. Find the truth, and if we both share the same truth, we will both be doing things together. And when you have eliminated all that's impossible, whatever remains must be the truth, no matter how improbable. That is Sherlock Holmes. It's a saying by Sherlock Holmes, the philosopher. So I'm going to be talking, this channel, we talk mostly about esoteric and metaphysical things about metaphysics. We discuss almost always things relating to metaphysics or esoteric issues. And by metaphysics here, I mean things that are beyond physics. Metaphysical things or metaphysics is just things which sometimes are not seen, things you cannot see, things that are in other dimensions. If, for example, I have a feeling that my life is being driven, guided, or held by an unseen force, that is metaphysics. You have a feeling that the Virgin Mary or any angelic being is helping you, or any of those angels, that is metaphysics. That is what it is. And if you start to understand that there are more, or there is more in this earth that is not seen, that is also metaphysics. When you just start to understand that there's a little bit more than what you are being taught, things that are not seeable, the things that you cannot see. And almost all humanity fall into that category. Sorry. And it has been said that 80% of humanity believe in some ways in the afterlife. If that's true, it means the majority of the human believes in an invisible soul. That is just a fact. And now, before we start out thinking out of the box, firstly, I would like to tell you what is inside you as a human, as a person. Inside you, we've got the Creator Source, the God of gods. It's inside of you, not outside. Inside of you is the shaman that you will be in this new age. You know, we have all past lives. It means we've been reincarnating for thousands of years, and in those many other lives, you were both genders, male and female. You've been a shaman before, you've been a rocket scientist before, you've been all the teacher, you've been whatever, you've been all those things today, and now we are in a graduation phase. This since 21st of December 2012. We've graduated from all other reincarnations and consciousness piling of, we've been, our consciousness has graduated. So we are becoming we are more conscious human beings at this present time. That's why we could shift to the next dimension, to the fifth dimension, from a third to the fifth dimension. And inside of you still is a new and fresh intuition that is starting to manifest itself. So your intuition is becoming more finely tuned, as I said in some of my previous podcasts. So if you want to go somewhere, if you want to eat a certain food that you're not very sure of, you ask your intuition and you wait for a response. You will feel, you have a certain feeling, and from there you will start to learn about energies. Those are part of those multidimensional energies I'm talking about. You will be learning, you ask and your intuition will give you a sign that this food is, and from there the more you practice, the better you become at it. And inside of you is the knowledge of what to do, where to turn, where to go, how to do. Those things are intuitively being more finely tuned. So you could practice that and you will be able to use your intuition more efficiently. And that is where the world is going now, towards intuitive kind of discerning. Use your intuition to discern where to go, what to do, or what to discern, all kinds of things, And this, talking about thinking out of the box, that is thinking out of the programming, thinking out of the way we grow up and we are taught in a certain way. It could be from everything, from your home, from churches, and whatever, how you grow, how you are being taught in general, being in the school or whatever. And the question really is, who are you really? You just ask yourself, who are you? Are you the one that is ready to think out of the box a little bit? Are you a person who is ready to look at things a little bit differently than what you were taught? Because right now the earth is shifting, it's vibrating higher. We are gradually leaving this physicality of third dimension physical. We are gradually, our awareness is now more finely tuned to multidimension things. It means unseen things, things you don't see, how to play with energies, how to focus your energy somewhere and manifest something. That's where the earth is going now. And that is the beginning of thinking out of the box, thinking of how you were brought up, how you think about certain things, to try to think about them differently. And go out of the box, examine it, and come back. Go out, think a little bit differently about life. Think a little bit, for example, the war going in Ambazonia right now, and the French. Think a little bit out of the normal, the suffering. Think what the implications are. How is it possible that the people just suddenly get up and they want to be separate? There are lots of things. You just ask yourself questions, and you will realize that it is because of the shift that people are waking up. And the box is like, it is precious because it represents a logic of life here on earth. It represents everything you know. It makes sense. It's comfortable. Your daily routine. Go to work, come back, do your normal thing, go to friends, party. It's a routine it's a logic of life. And the box becomes that which is comfortable, that you see around you. It's a very comfortable way to live in the box because you do things the way you are taught. It's a routine and you don't have to think much about it. And is it possible, friends, that there are things unseen far more larger than you know? Systems. Is it possible? Could it be that there are systems and processes larger than you were told? Be it in school or your peers. Is it possible, all these things? Is it possible that there are esoteric things that are closely sacred, that is sacred knowledge, things that are happening all over the planet, affecting the consciousness of humanity? Is it possible that there are things like that happening that are shaking the consciousness of humanity? Look at politics, look at things, a lot of lies. They are not even hiding it anymore. They lie in your face. They promise things, politicians, they don't do. They come the next day, they still lie, and you accept it. They lie and lie and lie, but sit a minute, take a seat. Ask yourself questions. Why do they keep on lying, saying things they can never achieve? All those kind of things. And it's because all those things are affecting consciousness, as I said. They are making humanity to wake up and think, for those who are able to wake up. And what is happening in this planet, it is new. It's something that's new. It's different. And it's just about everything. It's different right now. It's things strange things are happening, unbelievable things. And this box that you have been can stagnate very easily. I mean, it stays without change if you don't change it. If you don't want to search and evolve and look for ask questions, see if there is more out there than all what you've been taught. Because the planet is evolving. As it starts to evolve, and as consciousness starts to change, things are changing. If you stay in that box and you don't want to change, you will miss all of these changes because they are not seen, they are unseen. But they are there, they are changing. And if you look a little bit closer, you will realize that the world is really changing and some outside force is pushing things around. That's what I'm trying to let you friends to understand. What does it hurt you to make an agreement to yourself? I'm going to open my box. I'm going to think a little bit differently for 2 days, for example. I'm going to look at things black and white, look at things in a different way, be it religion, be it whatever, and see what is going to happen. When you start doing that, ask yourself questions, because it will not be long before love is proven, before you can prove love. You will see that things are not really what they seem to be. And it will not be long before the compassion itself, your compassionate being, is seen as the main thing that is going to save the earth, or that is the driving force of the earth. That's compassion, a compassionate being. And that's what the masters who walked the earth, like Jesus and the Buddha and Elijah, that's what they were teaching. It was all about love and compassion. Compassion. And is it possible that you are not from here and that God is inside of you? Is it all possible? That's a question. Is it possible that God is not out there sitting somewhere in the sky, but in you, residing in your soul? That all those things are residing in that soul that is inside of you, not outside, but the angelic being, collective, the higher self, and the God itself. All of those energies are in your soul, in you, not outside. Is it possible? That's what I'm trying to awaken in people. And let's look at the Adam and Eve story, for example. It's a beautiful story, metaphorical, real. And the ancient teachings say to us that there was once a planet with animals that became humans with free choice. Then the angels came, the beautiful angels in the Garden of Eden, which is Gaia, Earth, and gave something you did not have before. These are esoteric things and spiritual. And that's something you did not have before here refers to the tree of life and the tree of knowledge. The tree of knowledge allowed you to become informed. That is the sexual ability that you gain in the garden. That was what is gained in the Garden of Eden when they ate the forbidden fruit. And the practice the practice of it was the tree of knowledge. That's where knowledge became available. And that's the tree that the humans were forbidden to eat from. Now, the tree of life, it refers to the blood of the mother goddess. And that is the path to immortality. It's the blood of the mother goddess, Mother Earth. That is the path to immortality. And I just want to say you are not here by accident. What's up? People should wake up. We are not here by accident. There's a purpose of being on earth. We have free choice, and free choice to study religion or to be spiritual or not, to be all those things is all conditioned by free choice. And the box you are in, if you are in a closed system, closed box, you don't want to learn more. You have been taught in church in a certain way. You have been told that this is what it is. You don't want to think otherwise. You stay, that is thinking, you are not thinking out of the box. You stay there. So the box you are in is not going to tell you much because you're not going to be open to other energies or unseen things or metaphysical things you're not going to learn more because you will just be closed in that box. And let me tell you, my friends, you are in a new energy right now. We are in a new energy. Whether you like it or not, if you are not going to change, you will be left behind and you will not be able to survive it, and you will face early deaths. You will not be able to live long on this planet if you don't explore these new energies, because that's where the world is going. You will be stuck in the old in the box, in the old energy, which is not working anymore, is dead, and you will not live long. And now you are in this new energy, and you are in an energy of magnificence. And I know generally humans don't like change, but what if I told you that the changes must occur in order for you to understand that things are different? There must be changes. If there are not changes, you can never understand that things are different. And maybe you will even back off in your judgment and start to say, but what does all this mean? When you back off and you stay, you say, but wait a minute, what does all this mean? What do all these changes mean? Is it possible it could involve me? Let me just give a slight example with this COVID, this pandemic. Now you've got a disease, you've got these people, they know everything about the disease, they know what you have to do, how to prevent, they know everything, when it's going to be peak, when it's going to be a little bit less, they know everything, they know when it's going to stabilize in a few months. How do they know all these things and they don't have any cure for it? But they know everything surrounding the disease, almost everything, but the only thing they don't know is how to cure it. It raises questions. Those are part of the things, I'm saying. You just ask yourself questions. And imagine that God gave you free choice, as I was saying, in the Garden of Eden. And immediately will judge you for that free choice. Does it make any sense? Does it make any sense that there is a judgmental God out there who gave you free choice in the Garden of Eden? Because this earth is a free choice planet. That is what it means. God gives you free choice and then turns and judges you when you die and start to judge you, to punish you in hellfire. It's not possible for God to give you free choice and then judge you. It doesn't make any sense. And it doesn't make any sense. It's not logical. It's not compassionate. It's not a compassionate God then who will judge you and punish you, who will give you free choice and later judge you and then punish you if you committed a sin or whatever. It's not a compassionate God. And you are magnificent beings. We are magnificent human beings, my friends. We are all magnificent. So there's no God that will give a free choice to his people, to the people, and then will turn and punish the people to put them in hellfire. It doesn't make any sense at all. And we are all magnificent beings, as I was saying, and the magnificence of our choice, the choice we make to be spiritual or not, to follow God, or all those choices, they are not judged. God cannot judge you for that because it's the free choice we have as humans. And it's that freedom we have to find a higher or lower consciousness. and wherever you want to go. You want to have a higher consciousness, you want to be more consciousness, more compassionate, that's a free choice you've got. You want to do otherwise, it's your free choice. And what happened is that humanity passed this procession of the equinox, and we are now in a new era. That is a 26,000 year cycle that we passed. And during this 26,000 years, is the time the Earth, I think this is the 5th attempt that we have been succeeded to move to a higher dimension. The Earth has tried previously the 4 times. And every time you had the Noah flood, and you had all the time the earth was extinguished through various kind of ways. And but this time we succeeded. No, the earth was not. We did not kill ourselves. We succeeded to raise consciousness, and through consciousness, higher consciousness, we ascended to this higher dimension we are in now. And this is the era of benevolence, and the era where light is starting to expose the dark area in dark areas. It means you're seeing it all in the news and everywhere. You see darkness, they are fighting back. And you see light, people with consciousness, they are showing themselves, and you see the darkness is fighting back. That's all what is going on. It's all new, and we are all part of it. And another question, what if there is a portal, a route from your consciousness to the consciousness of the Creator Source? Have you ever thought about it? Maybe there is a direct channel connection between your consciousness and the consciousness of the Creator God. And part of understanding this box we are in, and which I'm trying to, which it's quite possible to get out of it, but quite part of understanding and part of the way we're understanding it is that you are programmed to think a certain way. You are programmed to think you are alone. You are programmed to think you are not this, you are not that, you are not capable of doing this, you are not. It's a trick because you cannot see out of the 3rd dimension. They keep you locked in this 3rd dimension and in this box. You cannot see further because you are limited with all what the things they are telling you is not possible. It's not possible. This cannot be proven. This not the. So they are limit your ability to think, to explore unseen things. There are realities in many dimensions. There are so many realities, and there are many dimensions. And it depends what you want. Do you believe in gravity? What is the color of gravity? Do you know that you could see gravity? That gravity in the future will be able to be seen. And if you can see gravity, you can then control gravity. And if you can control that gravity, if you can see it, it means you can create weightless objects. It means this now leading to place. You could have flying cars and things like that. Because you will be able to see gravity and manipulate it. That's where we are going to. That's where the Earth is moving to. Those are the changes. I'm saying the discoveries in the next 50 years that are coming. And maybe there are many things around you, multidimensional things that recognize you, a collective, angelic collective that are behind you, supporting you, recognize you, but that you don't know anything about. Assigned to every human on earth, there's an angelic collective that is ready to help you, only if you could be able to see out of the box. You could connect to them and they will give you great help. And what if you get up in the morning and you go by the river, by the trees, by the forest, and walk in nature barefoot, feel the earth, feel the magnetic grid of the earth, feel that connection. You get up in the morning, see but the love of God imbued in your DNA. And just say, thank you, God, for loving me. All those things, they are all linked to consciousness, awareness. And have you ever noticed that people with elegant consciousness, somebody who has an evolved consciousness, when they are asked a question, they will answer the question brilliantly. You will love to listen to the way they answer. That's because they have an elegant consciousness that is far higher up there. There are individuals who have matured in a level that is difficult to understand. They have gone beyond 3D and 4D kind of thinking. They have explored multidimensional energies. They have been thinking. They think out of the box. So they have a lot more elegant and magnificent consciousness, as I can say. Do you know that consciousness around you is a physical and measurable energy? Consciousness is measurable, it's physical. Manifestation, thinking and manifesting things and objects, that's all consciousness. The more consciousness you can be able to when you start to tap into this consciousness and feel it, it's all possible because consciousness is physics. Consciousness will help you move from point A to point B, and you will be in a different place without realizing it is all due to consciousness. What I'm saying here is that you start creating good chances for yourself when you become more consciously aware, when you start acknowledging the consciousness around you. You will be creating things. You create synchronicity. You create events around you. You create, you're going to go somewhere, you meet somebody who will give you a connection to some other thing you were looking for. You create synchronicity of events, of things, of luck. You would just call it luck maybe in your life, but that is, you manifesting your own reality. You creating through synchronicity because you're becoming more consciousness aware. So energies around you, they are manifesting things you need in front of you. And it means you slip into a protective, coherent system because you have a compassion. You are hooked in that compassion. You are hooked in, it controls where you walk, what you do. It's all control when you become a lot more compassionate, so that compassion will control where you go and what you do. And you will realize that you are so much bigger than the you. You'll be very big because that compassion will radiate to anybody around you and they will react differently to you. And there's a lot around you, as I can say, and it's all on purpose by the gods, and it was designed for Tao. Now, the spiritual beings, they have been on track. They are the ones who are picking up these energies, thinking out of the box first, and trying to awaken other souls to this idea of beginning to think out of the box and try to feel other energies around. A higher energy of consciousness. That's where all we are striving to. That's where we are going, as I can say. The higher energy of consciousness. Consciousness that creates synchronicity, creates a manifestation of anything you want. You think of something, and then your consciousness draws you there to that particular, is it an area, a place, or an office, and from there you get synchronicity of people. You meet people who will help you to do one or thing or other thing, or will send you to some other area where you will meet some other person who will help you with something you were looking for a long time. Those are all synchronicity. That's synchronicity created by a higher consciousness. Compassion, radiating when you are sending compassion around everybody around you. When they feel that compassion in you, the synchronicity is created. And to everyone listening to this podcast who is ready, who is spiritual, who is ready to think a little bit out of the box, I will say this podcast is mostly for spiritual beings, people who are a little bit spiritual, who want to, or it's for, who are known by, you are known by God, and you are appreciated by God, and it will always be like that. Thanks for listening. See you.